Yo, peace to the 12. So y'all see the title, man, The Worship of the Beast. It's not probably not what I'm gonna name it when I drop the video. The title will probably be different. But yeah, The Worship of the Beast. And I was supposed to have this video out 2 days ago, man. But the spirit kept hopping on me to add more information. So this comes from an interview that popped up on my YouTube, and it was on my computer's YouTube where I don't have an account, so it's like, you have to sign in. So you get a bunch of different videos or whatever. And this video in particular popped up. Of course, now look. All of a sudden I'm freezing up. Hasn't None of this has happened until I started recording, mind you. Anyway, so I started recording, so I saw this video and I decided to watch it because it was a short video, and it was from this person, and the channel is called The Boogie Show Clips. I'm just gonna show you captions, the subtitles. Y'all can go watch the video yourself. But it's from the Boogie Show Clips, and it says, Victoria Liu, Asian men don't like me because of my complexion, and that's the reason I left China. Right? So this woman, Victoria Liu, who I'm assuming is a P star, because when I clicked on this dude's channel, his whole channel is full of P stars. Alright, so most likely this is the 304. Alright, a garden tool that is used to plow. But nonetheless, she's going to say something, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do a video on it. She's going to say, she's going to go into the fact that a lot of people in China like to have a damn near white complexion. And that goes to the point of this title, which is that this comes from the worship of the beast. Because as I've been telling you guys for a long time, and I might do a more in-depth video on this in the future, almost all of these nations, they model their entire society after trying to act like the so-called white man. Whether it's through how they look, how they talk, how they dress, their religion, praying to white Jesus, their whatever, how they dye their hair, bleach their skin, the colorism, how they tell you that the darker someone is, the more unattractive they are, so on and so forth. It's all because of the worship of the beast. Everybody follows after the so-called white man. Really, everyone follows after Esau, the Edomites. All right, the ruling power of the world today. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and go through these subtitles. We're gonna go all the way through that, and then I'm gonna go into some scriptures, and I'm also gonna show you some more pictures to justify what I'm saying. So anyway, let's get it. So he says, have you been intimate with any Asian men since coming to America? She says, oh my God, no. Right? No. Why? They don't like me. Because you're not traditional? I am black, like tan. So she says, I am black like tan. Which is funny because she's clearly not a so-called black woman. But she said that. I am black like tan. They don't like tan skin. I don't understand. Chinese they like fair Asians. Asian Chinese. You see, the Chinese, they go to the beach and they cover everything because they don't like to be dark. Right? I've touched on this before in a previous video. I had some damn Moabite try to argue in the comment section. I'm like, I ain't got nothing to say to you, man. I know what's going on, man. All right, I wasn't born yesterday. Been around. I know y'all dress up and y'all cover yourself, but you don't want to be dark. Don't play with me. I know what's going on. Because they don't like to be dark, so I'm tan. They don't like my skin. Are you serious? I am serious. That's why I left there. Right? That's why I left there. That's why I left there. I'm like, what? They don't like me? I'm like, what? They don't like me? I don't have Asian boyfriend? Nothing. All because she's tan. Now, I would argue it's probably a little bit more than the fact that she's tan, because, it could also be that she's, seen more snakes than a zoo, most likely, if she's on this guy's podcast or interview, whatever the hell this is. They think like fair skin is beautiful. That's crazy. But I love tan skin. I love tan. And when I was born, I'm like this skin. Continue on. I hate that I'm freezing up on this damn PowerPoint shit. Anyway, when I born, I'm like this skin. I love it. I just love chocolate color. Yeah, I just love chocolate color. Yeah, I bet you that was her shooting her shot at old boy who was the interviewer. I bet you that was her shooting her shot at old interviewer talking about I love chocolate color. Look how she looking. Anyway, I then she says she's never had an Asian rod and she wants to know. Yeah, I bet you do want to know. I bet you do want to know. Anyway, so this brings me to the scripture I'm going to get, right? Revelations 13:3. And I saw one of his heads as if it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wandered after the beast. All the world wandered after the beast. All these nations, or even including my own nation, unfortunately, they wander after the beast. Now, I'm going to explain to you that the beast is not a damn unicorn. It's not Godzilla. It's not damn, it's not Cthulhu. The beast is a nation, and the nation that runs the world today is the Edomites. All right? I'm going to briefly prove that. I'm not going to go too deep into that. I've went into that in previous videos, and I'll probably go into that in the future. But it says they wandered after the beast. Now, let's get other versions of Revelations 13:3. In other versions, it says, damn, bro, why am my shit freezing? Anyway, it says, the whole world was filled with wonder and followed the beast. The whole world marveled at this miracle and gave allegiance to the beast. The whole earth marveled as they followed the beast. The whole world marveled and followed the beast. Right? So it's all talking about how they followed the beast. And by the way, it was healed. The Roman Empire was fell, right? Like when you think of the Roman Empire, yes, it fell, but it was revived in the form of the Americans. All right, that's a whole video that I'll probably do real soon. I've been thinking about doing a video showing all the comparisons between America and ancient Rome. And yeah, I'll probably do that down the pipeline. But yeah, it says they're wandering after the beast. And this isn't talking about them damn praying to Charizard, man. This ain't what it's talking about when they're like, hear me, Charizard. That's not what they're talking about, man. The beast is a nation. All right, we can prove that in Daniel 7:23 through 28. It says, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth. So the beast is a kingdom. When you're talking about the beast, it's talking about a kingdom, all right, upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms and shall devour the whole earth and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. Now you tell me who devoured the whole earth. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. So, without going too much into this, we know that the beast is a kingdom. All right, so you go to Revelation, and he says, everybody wandered after the beast. That means everybody wandered after the kingdom. Everybody wandered after a certain nation. All right, and that's why they don't like her for the tan skin, because they want to look like the so-called white man. And that's also why this woman dyed her hair blonde. Why is that? Because she wants to mimic the so-called white woman. All right? People do it through many various means. Like I said, the way they dress, the way they talk, their hair choices, wigs, eye contacts, bleaching skin, even their names, right? Dude's name would be San Wu. He come over here, his name's damn John Todd. He done changed his name to John Todd. Like you got that one guy, that damn Ishmaelite, right? Cosplaying as a so-called black man. Myron Gaines. From, what's that damn show called? Fresh and Fit. That's what they're called. And he he'll talk about, oh, you know, nobody get profiled or nothing. The nigga changed his name from Amaramu or some shit to damn Myron Gaines. That ain't his real name. If there wasn't nothing wrong with, if nobody judged you by your name and they just judge you by your character, why the hell did you change your name, nigga? Well, you ain't a nigga, because like I said, really is Ishmaelite. That's some whole other video. I ain't going too much into that. Anyway, yeah, the beast, right? And you read about Daniel the beast. We all know first beast is Babylon. Second's Medo-Persian. Then it's the Greek Empire by Alexander the Great. And then it's the fourth beast is the Roman Empire. But like I told you, the Roman Empire was revived. That's the whole. I'll break down Daniel 7 in another video. All right. Now time to get to the point to prove, like I said, they all wander after the beast. They all follow him, right? When we look at the skin whitening, look at this. In a number of African countries, between 25 and 80% of women regularly use skin whitening products. 25 to 80% of women in certain African countries are just bleaching their skin, basically. In Asia, this number is around 40%. In India specifically, right? So yeah, it's crazy. And they be damn killing themselves, man. They be having toxic levels of mercury and hydroquinone, right? And that's why you got damn Sammy Sosa looking like Bob Hope. That's why you got people like Nicki Minaj. Look at this, man. They're wandering after the beast. Look at her hair, wandering after the beast, right? In India, right, you have dark-skinned people all throughout India, right? But you wouldn't know that because so many of them bleach their damn skin, right? Or try to stay out of the sunlight, right? And it's the same way in the so-called Latino community. Right, that and everybody knows this. If you've been around, they'll tell their kids not to be out in the sun too long, or whatever. Like you got the man, what's his name? John Leguizamo. You know, he's played in a lot of movies. He played in a movie called Pest. He played the clown in Spawn, the Violator. He played in John Wick when he was the guy that said, "Oh, whose car is that?" That's John Leguizamo. Anyway, he made a statement that he had to keep his skin white to keep getting jobs in Hollywood. Look that up. But anyway, continuing on. Look at this about India. Check this out. 2014 marketing study found that almost 90% of Indian girls cite skin lightening as a high need. 90% of Indian women are out there trying to bleach their skin, man. That shit is crazy, man. Especially when you know the ancient history of India. Back in the day, they found beauty in their darker skin tone. We learned that from Marco Polo. Who's Marco Polo? He was a merchant. He was an Italian merchant explorer from 1254, and he was known for traveling throughout Asia on the Silk Road. Right when he got to India, this is what he had to say in his book, "The Travels of Marco Polo." We're gonna go to page 400. This is what he had to say. He said, "We tell you onwards of the other things which are left, for when boys or girls are born in this province, you must know that they are born black." He's talking about Indians, mind you. Born black. But not so black as they are made afterwards, because it is true that when the infant is born, it is born fair, but they anoint him once every week with sesame oil, and that is how they make them become more black than they were born a great deal, so that they become as black as a devil. For I tell you that in the country, he who is more black is more precious than the others in beauty, and is held better than the others who are not so black. Right? And he says that their saints are black. Right? For they say that God and all the saints are black, and they speak of their God and of their saints, and they say that the devils are white. So during the time where he was alive in 1254, they found great beauty in their very dark skin tone. And now look where we're at now. They're wandering after the beast, and 90% of Indian girls are trying to whiten their skin. That shit is crazy, man. The same thing happens in the diaspora, the African diaspora, man. Same thing happens, right? Look at this. Nigeria, 77% skin bleaching creams prevalent among 77% of Nigerian women. Highest in Africa compared to 59% in Togo. Look at this madness, man. This is wandering after the beast. That's all it is, right? Skin bleaching in Jamaica. About 300,000 people in a country of 2.8 million bleach their skin. Right? All you gotta do is look at all these different celebrities. Look at all these different celebrities. Look at them wandering after the beast. Look at them changing their hair color. Look at them not having their natural hair. This is all examples of wandering after the beast, man. Period. Right? Now let's go back to China. Like the woman was saying. Because remember, she was Chinese. She was Chinese. She said, let's go back to it. She said, where is it at? Chinese, they go to the beach because they don't like to be dark and all that, right? I've went over this before in time past. I'm gonna do it again, right? So when we look at somebody like the Chinese, they also wander after the beast, right? You have dark-skinned Chinese people around. You have dark-skinned Chinese people around, and yet they desire to look like the so-called white man. Right, let's go into it. They wear these masks, the face kini, right? Mask for beachgoers, cover their heads, reveal their eyes and nose, right? They wear these face kinis. You got walking all up and down the beach, looking like this, man. Come on, man, play it. Looking like damn Ninja Turtle foot ninjas, man. Looking like Ninja Turtle foot ninjas, right? Swimwear, sweeping Chinese beaches for both men and women, walking down looking like this, right? Looking like the damn putties from Power Rangers. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the putty soldiers from Power Rangers looking like that, man? This is madness. Looking like the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger putty patrollers. This is madness, right? And this wasn't how it was back then. It wasn't like they just were like, oh man, you know, we always thought that black was ugly and we didn't mess with it. That's not how it always was. I'll show you how. They have multiple deities, multiple so-called gods. They're false gods. There's only one God. His name's Yahawah, right? The God of the Israelites. But anyway, he says, let me show you some ancient Chinese gods, right? Or I'm going to say, let me show you some ancient Chinese gods. Let's go through the little list real quick. I ain't going to go too crazy with it. But I'm going to show y'all a couple. So this one is Zhuan Wu, right? Zhan Wu or Zandi. He's got all these different names. High-ranking deity of Taoism. He is revered as a powerful god, able to control the elements and capable of great magic. Now they have him like depicted as yellow, but in the ancient times he was depicted as black, as you can see in this statue right here. Zhuan Wu, and as a matter of fact, he was known as the Black God. Look at this. Zhan Wu, the black tortoise. Zhan Wu, one of the four symbols of Chinese cosmology, associated with the north, winter, and water. While often depicted as a tortoise intertwined with a snake, some artistic and textual interpretations describe Zhan Wu, or his humanoid form, as having dark or black skin, symbolizing his connection to the mysterious and profound depths of the water and the underworld. A god of protection, longevity, martial prowess, later absorbed into the Taoist theology, and the powerful Zhen Wu, the true warrior deity. Right? And Zhan Wu actually has another name. They call him Pak Dai or Pak Di, however you say it. Or Pak Tai or Pak Tai, however you say it. Mysterious black god of the north. Right? Pak Tai. Come on, man. So, and I'm not going to read all this, but look at this. Pak Tai appears to have been born in the midst of time. His ancient name was Zhan Wu. I showed you that earlier. Right? Jion Mu, meaning dark warrior. Right? This goes all the way back to 1046 BC and all that. So all this now, all them walking around looking like damn putties from Power Rangers. Hey, that's them wandering after the beast, right? After having dealings with the damn British. Right? So on and so forth. But you got the deity known as Heidi or Heidai, the Black Emperor, prominent deity in Chinese religion, particularly within Taoism. He's associated with winter and the color black. Right? Animal form is the black dragon. While not always depicted as with literal black skin, his symbolic color is black, and some later folk esoteric traditions may have visualized him with dark features. So he's not always depicted as black, but sometimes he is, clearly. Right? And I'm going to get one more for the Chinese deities, then we're going to move on. So-called deities, because like I said, there's only one true God, and that is Yahawah. All right, and his son's name is yahawashi, and Yahweh's the God of the Israelites. All right? Creator of all things. But anyway, here's another one. Ku Jing, the dark scholar god. In later imperial times, god of examinations and literature, was sometimes depicted as dark or bluish skin, standing on one foot. Like the Big Dipper constellation he represents, his fierce dark appearance contrast with his role as a patron of scholars, a deity of success, civil examinations, often worshipped by students. Once again, look, what they all have in common, they're all depicted as black. So her saying that they don't like this type of skin tone, that's some new shit. That's the point. All right, and we go to Japan, it's the same thing. You have darker skinned Japanese people, right? You have darker skinned Japanese people. Come on, man, load up. You have darker skinned Japanese people. Yes, you do. All right, they're all throughout Japan, right? As you can see, they're all throughout Japan, and yet nowadays, what do you see? Super light skinned Japanese people, right? Because they do the same thing the Chinese do. They cover themselves up. They use whitening creams, all type of stuff, right? They wear these damn masks. They even had the woman who's half black, Naomi Osaka. They depicted her anime character as this, and this is what she looked like. This is madness, right? They whitewashed her damn character, man. Right? Look at this. Japanese lighten their skin using cosmetics that stop the production of melanin. All right, they do the same thing, and even their most famous damn anime characters. How are they depicted? Rather, you're talking about Goku or Naruto, right? Goku, he turns into a blonde-haired man with green eyes. Naruto is blonde hair with blue eyes. Even though they have damn names like Naruto Uzumaki and Son Goku. But they look like this damn so-called white man. Why? Because they're wandering after the beast. Right? Let me get some scriptures on that. Let's go to Jeremiah 51. See, everybody's drunk right now. Everybody that's walking around that's not in this truth, they're walking around drunk in various ways. Some people are completely gone, and some people are buzzed. But the majority of the people that are walking around there, they are drunk. And they're not drunk on alcohol. They're drunk on the philosophies, doctrines of Esau. Period. Right? Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord Yahawah's hand that made all the earth drunken. See that? All the earth has been drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. They're bugged out of their damn minds. Right? Going outside looking like you about to hit a lick just so you don't get a little darker. That's madness. Right? Revelations 14:8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine in the wrath of her fornications. So she's trying to get in bed with everybody, bug them out, have them act just like them, right? Assimilate to their cultures, forsake your own culture. You read about this in First Maccabees as well, how the nations were just going to forsake their own cultures and follow after the Edomites. And the only people that didn't want to do that were the Israelites that said no. And even then you had sellout Israelites, man. Even in those times. Anyway, Revelation 13:3. And I saw one of his heads as wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wandered after the beast. That's what I've been telling y'all. They all wander after the beast. They want to drink the wine, right? And before I get up out of here, I want to also show you, let me show you some ancient Asian black people that are actually still around, right? You have the Ada, right? The Ada, they're an indigenous Negrito people, primarily found in the Philippines, right? They are believed to be among the earliest inhabitants of the archipelago. As you can see, these are so-called black Asians, right? The Ada people, indigenous tribe, Ada, the African natives who originally inhabited the Philippines, right? They're the original inhabitants of the Philippines. You have some people called the Semang, right? The Semang are an ethnic minority group of the Malay Peninsula. They're in Malaysia. They live in mountainous and isolated forests in Malaysia, right? As you can see, these are, once again, some so-called black Asians. You can see they're so-called black people with Asian features. And I'm also show you the Manik people of Thailand, another Negrito ethnic group. As you can see, once again, so-called black. The Manik or Mani are a Negrito ethnic group in Thailand, and they are known as barbaric and treated like trash by the other people, which is no surprise. You You see a similar pattern with how they treat certain groups of people. I wonder why. But yeah, man, I just wanted to do a video on this chick, man. You know, and I was like, yeah, the reason she had to deal with all that bullshit, is because her people, as well as almost everybody, wanders after the beast. They want to act just like the beast, right? So they worship the beast. So anyways, man, that's pretty much it on that, man. I just wanted to do this little video. And, yeah, you know, with that, I say once again, peace to the 12. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, the Most High Yahawah. In the name of His only begotten Son, yahawashi. Yahawah's name, the Heavenly Father, who the world commonly calls God. Yahawashi is the Savior of the nation of Israel, who the world commonly calls Jesus Christ. I want to say shalom, which means peace. People listen and learn, your brothers in this work, true sincerity, and to you elders, that's been doing this thing before me, man. I'm going to go ahead and get up on out of here. Gone. Shalom.